can't skip over one of the biggest points of this whole video, or the whole point of why I am a mental health influencer. The day before my birthday was my 1-year anniversary for no longer being depressed. I can't believe that we are here yet again with the inconsistency and not posting and being gone for now. I think it's been about 2.5, 3 months, but we're back, and I wanted to just sit down and talk to you guys and give a little bit of a life update and what's been going on, because while I haven't been posting content, a lot of things have been happening. And I'm not gonna lie, it feels like a mini whirlwind for me, but it's only like a sign of what's to come. And I've been scared. Out of fear, I haven't been fully walking in my purpose, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. But it is time for me to sit down, get back on it. But before jumping back into content, I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys and just give a little bit of like background about what's been going on, what's been happening, what I've been up to. So grab your drinks, snacks, let's catch up, babes. Now, to keep me on track, because I know I can't be the only one, when you sit down to have a conversation, to talk to somebody, or maybe you are a fellow content creator and you've like pre-planned out your videos and you know the gist of what you're gonna say, but for whatever reason, when you sit down to have the conversation with the person, or you sit down in front of the camera to talk about whatever topic it is, everything goes out of your mind and you just gotta go with the flow. But then after you're done talking, you know, having the conversation, you then remember all the things that you wish you had said. I knew that was gonna happen to me because it happens to me every single time. So to avoid me forgetting things that were important that I wanted to talk about, I wrote it down to help keep me on track. So if you see me looking down on my phone, that is what I'm doing, because I didn't want to miss anything, especially because some of the things are like really big deals for me and I wanted to share, because a lot of it is testimony to help someone else. So I didn't want to forget anything. But anyways, it's the first time that I'm sitting down filming a content video in front of the camera, and because I haven't done it in a while, I'm so nervous. I don't know why, like I haven't done this before, but I'm so nervous and super fidgety. Not even gonna lie to you guys, I filmed this video already, but I was so fidgety in the video that I felt like it was distracting. So I'm gonna try to keep it to a minimal, but at least you guys know, like if I am fidgeting a lot, it's the nerves, and hopefully at some point in the video I'm calm, I relax. Last thing before we jump into it, my window's open because I am so hot, so if you hear any like background noise, I apologize in advance. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The reason for my hiatus was not planned. This was not a like planned break. It just kind of happened all in good timing, I guess, if I want to think about it positively. I think the last time I posted a video was in June and my birthday is in July. So unintentionally, I took a break in July because it was my birthday month. And then I was like, okay, in August, I'm gonna get back on it. But then my friend's birthday is in August. So that also kind of just threw me off a little bit. And then I said, okay, fine. Beginning of September, let's get into it. And then I got sick. So I have been struggling trying to get back on it and not let other things distract me. Let me back up a little bit. July, like I said, was my birthday month, And it was the first time in the 5 years that I have been depressed that I was out of the house. Like, I've, again, don't get me wrong, I've left the house, I've gone places, I've, celebrated my birthdays in prior years, or friends' birthdays, family birthdays, like those kind of things, or like events here and there. But July this year was the first month since not being depressed that I was out of the house consistently, like no break. And I thought, or I had intended to vlog the whole month because I knew I had these things coming up, but it just didn't happen that way. My birthday is the second week of July, so I went to Vegas, celebrated my birthday. It was amazing. I turned 30. I'm in a whole new decade of my life, and I'm scared, but I'm also excited because it feels like a fresh start. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I'm one of those people that feel like the new year is not January 1st for me. The new year is whenever my birthday is. So technically I'm only 3 months in to my new year since my birthday's in July, but it definitely felt like a fresh start, a new wind, like to kind of get my bearings and really jump into what I see for myself and what I want in my life. So I'm obviously going to bring you guys on the journeys of my 30s. This is new. I don't know what to expect, and I'm kind of just going with the flow because I'm a planner. I like to know exactly what's happening when it's happening. Like, I want to know all the things, but God is in control, and I am just going and moving wherever he sends me. So that is what I've been doing. But also can't skip over one of the biggest points of this whole video, or the whole point of why I am a mental health influencer. The day before my birthday was my 1-year anniversary for no longer being depressed. I don't have enough words to express the amount of gratitude and how blessed I feel to be able to say that, because if you didn't know, I suffered from depression for 5 years, and it was told to me pretty early on in my depression that God was going to use me to help other people going through what I was going through. So I feel like I experienced every single phase of depression, in my opinion, which will also come up later in this video. But because of that, I started I started creating content about what I was going through, what I was feeling, what I was experiencing. And while I was experiencing it, I never thought that I would not be depressed. Like, I thought that this was as good as it was gonna get. Even when I was having my better days, I thought, like, this is it. This is, this is the new normal. This is life. And it wasn't. It wasn't, babe. I have been depression free for 1 year, and it feels amazing. Like, we don't know her. She is in the rearview mirror. We don't want to see her again. Like, I am elated, and that is testimony to somebody that is going through it, that you can get through it. You can come through to the other side, and to not give up, keep pushing through. I know that it is hard. Believe me, I know, I understand. I've been there, but you will come through to the other side, and you will feel better than ever. When I tell you, going through depression transformed me into a completely new person that I am still trying to figure out. Don't get me wrong, I do not have it all figured out because I'm not depressed anymore. Again, will come up later in the video. I feel like there's so many things that I'm touching on early, but it will come up later to go a little bit more in depth. But just, I want you to know that you are not alone. You can get through it. Like, I don't have enough words. I'm blessed. I thank God every day that I am where I am, because there was a point in time where you could not have paid me to believe that I would be where I am now. So not being depressed for an entire year, I'm talking no depressive episodes. I'm talking no like fear of falling back in depression, no questioning myself if I am still depressed. Like everything about depression gone in my rearview mirror for an entire year, and it feels amazing. So just know that you can come through, you will come through. Keep pushing through, you are not alone, I promise you. But with that being said, the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was how I have been trying to get into a daily routine, which has been really hard because, again, like I just said, I'm still trying to learn this new version of myself, and understanding that your mental health is so important to your daily life. Like growing up in just early adulthood, I felt like, or I feel like a lot of people in general, we don't even consider our mental health in our day-to-day, and I feel like it definitely contributes to the decline of our mental health because we're not paying attention to it. It's on the back burner if we even recognize it at all. And coming through depression, I understand now more than ever that incorporating my mental health into everything that I do is so important. If it is not good for my mental health, I'm not going to do it. Like, there's no question about it. It's not happening. So trying to find good daily routines for myself, because I thrive off of having a routine, which again is really good for your mental health to have a routine. I have not quite figured out exactly what fits best for me, especially because just like in social media world, it can be really easy to be consumed with everybody else's idea of what the good routines are, whether it's a morning routine or a night routine, or just like how to schedule your daily life. Everybody has their own idea. Everything is different for everyone. And I feel like we make it a point to ourselves when we feel like we're trying to get ourselves in a routine and feeling good and being organized. We kind of take things from other people, which there is nothing wrong with, but finding a good balance for yourself is what's important, instead of just following the like textbook, this is the perfect morning routine or this is the perfect night routine, especially when mental health is not considered in those routines. So even this morning I realized, because last night in my digital planner, like I planned out my day today, and not gonna lie, the morning, or like the way that I scheduled my day today is not at all how it went. Like it did not go at all how I scheduled it in my daily planner. But this morning when I woke up, I realized the way that I have my day planned out is not what is best for my mental health, or I wasn't considering what has been working, if that makes sense. I again got sucked into what productivity looks like to the outside person and not really thinking about what helps me to be productive. And so when I had my morning routine planned out from what I did last night, it was like get up, get up by 7, have my Bible study, journal, meditate, like all those things, which are all good things, and they are all essential to what I want my morning routine to look like. But what I didn't consider is I struggle with getting out of the bed every morning because I am not a morning person. Like I've never been a morning person. I can get up early in the morning if I have to, but like wanting to be up that early, never been her. And there was a point in time when I was waking up every single morning at 5 in the morning, and it felt good, but it was like, what's the point of me waking up that early? Like I don't really have a reason to be up that early, especially if I'm not sleeping that well at night. And I still haven't gotten into a good sleep routine. Like I am not sleeping, I'm not getting enough quality hours of sleep. So I definitely know that that contributes to me struggling to get up in the morning. But I realized this morning that when I get up in the morning, I need at least 1 hour before I get out of the bed for me to wrap my head around my day. And that's okay. But if you look up productive morning routines, nobody is talking about laying in the bed for an hour before getting up to start your day. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I know for me and with my mental health, that is something that I need to consider and test out. How does staying in the bed an hour before getting up after I wake up help me to be more productive? And I realized this morning when I did that, I stayed in bed an extra hour to just lay there, maybe watch a show and relax. And then after the hour was up, I held myself accountable to, okay, you stayed in the bed for the extra hour, now it's time to start your day. I felt so much more productive. So now I know a part of my morning routine, I need to incorporate that because that worked for me. But that is why I'm saying it's so essential for me to try to figure out what my daily routines look like. And I haven't 100% crafted the perfect morning routine for me not in depression. When I was depressed, I at some point figured out a good routine for myself because it was about trying to motivate myself to keep pushing through and to not just sit in this awful negative mindset. But now that I'm a new person, we are learning her, it is important for me to figure out what that new routine looks like. And so that is what I've been actively doing now. So if that helps you, think about when you are setting your morning routines or even your night routines, how you plan your days out. Think about the things that help you be productive and not so much about what society says a good morning routine, night routine, daily routine looks like. Think about what works best for you, because whatever works best for you is going to help with your mental health, and that is the point of everything. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about as far as like personal updates, I again have been heavily focused on depression and what it was like for me to get through depression. I have touched on it, obviously, that I also suffer from anxiety, but I don't talk about it a lot. And I don't talk about it a lot because for me, depression was more important for me to tackle because that was an unknown thing I've never experienced before. Whereas anxiety, while it got worse while I was depressed, I've always had anxiety. But now that she has been depression free for so long, I am now shifting my focus to focus on my anxiety and trying to find ways to cope with it and, you know, push through and lessen it if any. I don't know if anxiety is a mental health issue that can go away completely because I've had him all my life, so I don't know how that works, and I'm not a doctor, so I can't really speak to that. But I do know that I can at least, bare minimum, keep it to a minimum, and just making sure that I'm not allowing it to interfere with my daily life, because I do have an anxiety disorder. I have been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. It's not just anxiety from little things or certain things. I have anxiety about everything. And if you are somebody that also suffers with anxiety, or maybe you're not someone that suffers with anxiety but you know someone that does, I highly recommend that you watch Inside Out 2, because in my opinion, I feel like that movie did such an amazing job with showing what anxiety looks like in picture form. Like, that is exactly how it feels for me. And when I watched that movie, I felt so seen, so understood. Like, yes, exactly. In my head, that is what's going on. And now I know that I'm not crazy. Like, other people experience this. So definitely highly recommend, if you have not seen that movie, if you have anxiety or know someone who does, it can definitely help either you understand someone who has it, or if you have it, it can help you, give you some comfort and know like you're not alone and it is okay. Let's try to figure out how to push through it and, you know, get ourselves on track so where it's not interfering with every single thing that we do. But like I said, that is where I am now, and right now my main focus where my anxiety is concerned is leaving the house. I definitely have been really good about leaving the house, but the anxiety buildup to do it is insane right now, and I have to force myself to go. And then when I'm out, sometimes once I'm out, I feel good, I'm great. But sometimes if I'm out for too long, I am cringing to be back home. Like, I understand that now my home is like my comfort space, and I do need to get out of my comfort zone. So trying to push myself is definitely needed, but I don't want to push myself to a point where I am like an overkill. So definitely something that I'm focusing on right now with my anxiety is leaving the house and trying to figure out where the balance is, because right now I don't know where it is. I'm either forcing myself or I'm just like, it's not gonna happen, I'm staying home. So I need to find a happy medium, but that is my current struggle as far as my mental health goes, is trying to figure out what to do with my anxiety and how to not make it interfere with everything that I'm doing. But that is the end of my personal updates as far as what's been going on and things that I wanted to share. But that brings us to the next topic, which I'm excited about, is the new projects that are coming soon. So with me being more consistent in my content creation and being a mental health influencer, I have decided that I am going to post 3 YouTube videos a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So I have already figured out what the 2 series are going to be for Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Sundays will obviously be the like weekly vlog or a vlog, whether it's a day, weekend, whatever, but it'll be a vlog on Sunday with a little bit of a twist, because I was doing a little bit of research and I was trying to figure out like how can I make my vlogs a little bit more interactive, I guess. I love a good vlog. I love to watch vlogs. I have, you know, my favorite YouTubers that I love to watch, but vlogs are a pretty typical thing. Everybody's vlogs are kind of the same as far as like you're just showing what you do on your day-to-day, or like if you're going on a trip, or you know, things like that, which I personally love to watch. But because I am a mental health influencer, I feel like I need a little bit of a different approach to it. So I decided that at the end of the vlogs, I will be sitting down and talking to you guys and giving like a brief overview of goals and things that I want to accomplish for the upcoming week, and then encourage my babes to also do the same in the comments, so we can hold each other accountable of making sure we're hitting our weekly goals, but also making sure that we are taking care of our mental health throughout the week. Now, the other 2 video series Tuesdays is going to be called Living in Alignment, and it's basically how we are going to take our mental health and incorporate it into whatever it is that we're doing in our daily life. I have a few topics to start with, but if you have some topics in specific that you want me to talk about, please let me know in the comments. I am open to all suggestions. And then on Thursdays will be like a cozy story time, where I am going to take you on my entire journey going through depression from start to finish. Now, I definitely have other videos where it was in real time, whatever I was experiencing, how I was feeling it, what I was going through, some recaps of therapy sessions, like all of those things. But these videos are going to be like a look back in time, what I was feeling during each phase. That series, I'm trying to figure out how to shrink it down a little bit, because that one is a lot of videos, because there were so many different phases that I went through. So I may shrink it down a little bit, or put a couple different topics in one video versus one stage per video, which is how I have it right now. But I want to use this series to help anybody that is going through depression, one, if you don't even know that you're going through depression, or if you're in a specific phase and you don't know that that's what it is, you can feel seen. You can identify what it is that you're feeling, and it's supposed to, my intention, help you get through it, know that you're not alone, and know that there is another phase and another phase and another phase until you are 100% out of it. So I'm so excited for those two video series. One's more actionable, one is a little bit more personal, but the intention behind all of the videos is definitely to create a community that want to take care of their mental health, regardless if you know how to do it or not. You don't have to know how to do it to join the family and subscribe, okay? The point is want to, and let's go on the journey together. Taking care of your mental health is a daily task. You're never done taking care of your mental health. So there are always new things that you're learning. There are always new things that you can do, things that you need to change, things that are no longer working, and you need to find a different way to approach them. That's why I want so badly to create that community where we're all doing it together. That is the intention of all of the video series that I'm currently working on, and they will go into November, a good part of November. The story time one kind of goes into a little bit of December, but that's why I was saying it's so long. I don't know that I want to drag it out that long, especially because I'm sure I'll have new content ideas and video requests that you guys have, so I don't want to drag it on too much. So I'm trying to figure out how to shorten it a little bit, where I'm still talking about everything, but maybe putting a few phases in one video. We'll see how it turns out. I wanted to also talk about another project, or two, but one is kind of a part of the other, that I am starting a mental health foundation. I don't have a name yet, but I am in the very beginning stages of creating a mental health foundation, which I am so excited about. The ultimate goal here, in like my biggest dream, is to have a mental wellness facility where it doesn't matter what you can afford, you can receive the type of mental health care that you need. And this came from when I was going through my own depression. I had two non-negotiables that I just absolutely did not want to happen to me, which were going on medication and being committed to a psychiatric hospital. I did have to go on medication, and there was a point in time where I was pretty close to having to be committed. But when I felt that, I was trying to find places where I could take myself, or not commit myself, but take myself to these like rehab facilities, and based on like your income. And there were two very different versions of healing. I'm looking for the right word that is not coming to mind at the moment, but basically it was either, if you don't have the money, you can go in a room with 4 white walls, share a room with someone on a cot, and that is your healing. Or if you have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, you can go to a retreat, beautiful home in Malibu overlooking the ocean, and have yoga classes and painting and group therapy sessions, and like, just sounded amazing. But the amount of money that you had to go to these places was insane. I didn't have that kind of money, so my option was going to be to look at 4 white walls and feel institutionalized. I personally don't know how anybody can genuinely heal and work through what they're going through in that type of environment. And I could be wrong, but that's just my personal opinion about it. And I felt like if I had to go to a place like this, like, it was going to make me feel more crazy. And I just absolutely just did not want that to happen. Thank God that never had to happen to me, but definitely sparked the urgency for me to try to figure out, how can I stop this from happening or be a part of the change. My ultimate goal and dream with this mental health foundation is to have a mental wellness facility where you can go to receive care for your mental health in a way that it feels like a retreat, but you are genuinely healing and not being made to feel like you're more crazy because you're looking at 4 white walls. So this is very near and dear to my heart. I take this so seriously, and I will work tirelessly and endlessly to make this dream happen, because I think that it is 100% possible. But that is my ultimate goal of this mental health foundation. But also on the smaller scale, I guess, I want to create a yearly walkathon where we all come together in support of mental health and we walk, whether it's a 5K or 10K or whatever. I haven't gotten there yet, but definitely something to do yearly to bring everybody together to walk for mental health. My foundation would specifically be for depression and anxiety, because that is what I experienced. So the walkathon would be, in support of depression and anxiety. So I'm really excited to be working on that. And of course, I'm going to bring you guys along for the entire journey of how all of that is going to happen. I can't tell you, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know that God is going to bless me in order to bless other people to have that experience. So I am so genuinely excited and grateful and hopeful that it will happen sooner than later, if I have any say so. But I know everything will be in God's timing, and He will see me through because He knows my heart. And this was something that He gave to me and let me know that this will happen. It's just a matter of when. So definitely I'm excited for these 2 new projects, and I have other business ideas that definitely will happen. Everything that I touch will be mental health related in some way, shape, or form, but those are the 2 things that are like top priority on my to-do list, because they are just so important to me. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. And then just lastly, I wanted to talk about like the plans of moving forward. I don't have any upcoming plans as far as me personally. Everything right now, I feel like I'm going to throw myself into work, because that is what's been missing, and I haven't been doing it out of fear. I touched on this earlier in the beginning of the video, but I have not 100% jumped in headfirst because I am scared of what is to come. I know, I just have this feeling that the moment I take it to that level, everything is going to hit me at once, and it will be a blessing for things to happen so fast. But it also scares me because I know once it starts, it's not gonna stop. Like, I'm not gonna have a break. I'm not gonna have time to sit and do nothing. Like, it is going to come full force, and that scares me. Everything that I do comes directly telephone from God. Like, every idea, every action, every step that I take comes straight from God. And anytime I try to do it on my own, it doesn't work. And that's when I know, like, okay, that's not it, move to the next thing. And that's why I feel like right now it's heavy on my heart. Like, now is the time to move. Now is the time that God is pushing me out, and He is telling me, jump in, I will do the rest. And that's what's scary. So I am just releasing the fear, letting it go, and I am going with the flow. My plan is to go with the flow and allow God to pull me and push me and take me wherever it is that He sees fit. and where is needed for me to go and do to walk fully in my purpose. Those are the only plans that I have right now, babe. Until God tells me otherwise, that's what's going on. That's what's happening. Last but not least, I want to talk about the balance between being a influencer and practicing self-care and taking time for myself, because I am jumping fully into my purpose. And like I said, this is not something that I would choose for myself as far as like being in front of the camera, being an influencer. Like, that is not me at all. But because of that, and I know that especially in the beginning of my career, it is going to be heavily in the influencer world. It is going to be really essential for me to understand to separate the two of being a mental health influencer but practicing self-care and taking time for myself, especially because, as we all know, content creators, influencers, you are showing everything about yourself, everything about your life, because that's what people want to see. But trying to find the balance between the two can be really hard, because you're gonna get hate comments, you're gonna get people that are asking you questions that are way too personal that you may or may not feel inclined to answer or respond to. And I don't want to get lost in all of that, especially because what I'm doing is purpose aligned, making sure that I understand that to separate the two and to have balance is so important. Because what is balance important for? Our mental health and keeping me sane. So I definitely will make sure that I am finding a balance, separating the two, practicing self-care, and understanding that Treasure.Orianna, the mental health influencer, is not the same as Treasure, the girl that is just trying to live life. So I encourage anyone doing anything that, whether you feel that what you're doing is purpose aligned or not, I would definitely encourage you to separate the two. For example, even when I was working, I did not know how to separate my work from my home life. Like, I was bringing my work home, and you know, that became my life. So this can apply to anybody. It doesn't necessarily need to be an influencer or a content creator. Anybody, making sure that you are separating your work life from your personal life and having a good balance, and making sure that you are taking time for yourself and practicing self-care, whatever that means to you, because it is different for everyone. And making sure that you are keeping your mental health at number one on your to-do list. So that is everything that I wanted to download, update you guys, talk about. And I am so excited for what the future holds. Whatever she may hold, we don't know, but I am excited. I'm excited to grow this community. I'm excited to walk with God and walk fully in my purpose and take on everything that comes to me, because she is ready for it. Can't lie, we're scared, but we are trying to set the fear aside and just be ready for whatever is to come. But if you made it through this whole video, this is probably a really long one. We're gonna see when I edit it, but this felt like a really long conversation, but I don't regret it at all, because I love you guys and I wanted to just download and let you guys know what's been going on, what's to come, all of the things. But thank you so much for watching. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe, join the family, become a fellow mental health babe. We love to see you here. So I will see you in the next video when we start our brand new series.